Hey everyone, up at Bonsai Acres, a really interesting winter day. So here it is, the 27th of December, and it's 35 degrees and kind of misty and gray. It's kind of like we're out on the west coast. Kind of bizarre. Up at Bonsai Acres, doing a little Shinrin Yoku, checking things out. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. Very excited. Just a few days left of 2025, and boy, was it an amazing year. I have to say, top to bottom, a lot of things going on, a lot of changes in the world, changes in my life, changes up at Bonsai Acres. And why don't we take a little trip down memory lane? Yeah, it's the year in review of Bonsai Acres. Let's get started.
So it's the holiday break. The holiday rush is over, although Christmas continued for me right here. That's right, I got my RPS solar pump system in the mail today, the 27th of December. So I'm gonna see if I can have running water run by the power of the sun. Oh yeah, there we go. So this thing weighs about 10, 15 pounds. And this is a 3-inch submersible pump. It says right on here, do not run dry. This is so extra super exciting. I can't wait for April. Did you ever grow up and get like yourself a skateboard or a bike for Christmas, and then you had to look outside at this? And you couldn't go out for a ride for months?
So we've had another strange weather pattern. We had rain on Friday, the 27th of December again, and a lot of rain. I think we got over a half an inch. Yeah, we have to bring the pump next time, Tobe. It is a hammock with an air mattress, and it didn't come with any directions unless we left them at home. We maybe could have put it a little lower. Oh, look at that. How's that for cozy? All I need is a good pillow, man. The Arctic blast is heading south into Minnesota as I speak, and the dangerous cold warnings have gone up from 6 p.m. this evening all the way through Tuesday morning. We will be below zero for 48 hours minimum. I had to get up to Bonsai Acres. I'm the kind of person that can't sit still. So to sit in a cold Minnesota winter with absolutely nothing to do but inside household chores would have driven me crazy. Now inside the car, I'm striving for 72 degrees, but outside it's getting colder. It started at my house at 10 above, now it's already 8 above. Ever since I picked up this property this past summer, time can't go by fast enough when I'm not up here. And every night when I go to bed, I think about this place. Even though the warnings start tonight at 6 p.m., I had to come up and squeeze a little time, maybe 9 until 3. If I can stand it for 6 hours in the elements, I had to give it a try.
So I'm cutting a couple of the large trees because I want to have a couple of places where you can walk around Bonsai Acres and go on some trails. And when you go on the trails, there are going to be a couple of spots that you can sit down. I envision a boardwalk that goes from the property where it's dry to here, because in the spring and summer, this will always be wet.
I'm actually a little sweaty now. I think it might be up to 5 degrees. Whoo! Take off a layer. Of course, that is one of the signs of hypothermia. So when you think you're all warm, you start taking off layers, and then you just freeze to death. So let's go see if, what were the names y'all guys said? The porcupine, Porty, Popper, let's go see if he's there. Well, he sure is. You won't shoot your quills at me. You'll just come down and you'll like swash your tail at me if I get too close.
So I'm gonna look at some more paths, make a few more clear walking places, so we know there's clear paths around here that we can go back and clean up. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's time to get to work. After walking the property just a little bit more, I discovered the project for today. I really had no idea what was going to pop into my brain and where I would start. But then I remembered the pine grove that I do have on site. There's this little section on kind of the north central, northeastern side of the property where there's about a dozen pine trees. And it's the only grove that I have, and these are tall, pretty old red pines. This is one of those places where I think in the future, if I get more pines around this area and add to it, on a windy day like today, you've got that breeze through the pine boughs. It's quiet. I am on my spring break, and I'm looking forward to my next Bonsai Acres trip, which is tomorrow. But before I can go, I have to construct an A-frame so I can bring up a couple big panel doors. So that wood right there has to become an A-frame in the next couple of hours. Hey Nigel, big cut coming up. I got the main frame completed. The 4x4s are the center beam, 2x6s on each end, and then a 2x4 at the bottom of the 2x6s, which leaves another couple of inches. Well, there we go. One side is done. So we have a pretty sturdy unit. We gotta do the other side, and we are almost ready to put it in the trailer. And through the magic of editing, look, Toby just showed up. Hey guys. Here we go. A little extra support on the ends. And we are ready to put a couple of arms to protect the windows. He couldn't come at a better time because now we have to do some heavy lifting and see if the thing's actually gonna work. Just rolling them on in. I'm not going to carry those heavy things. Worked out perfectly. Part one of today was essential well and pump coming out to check out my well. Looking forward to a great big geyser. And well, here's what we got. On a bright note, we could think of the positive. The new well cap fits beautifully. Yeah, check that out. So in the beginning, all kinds of black sludge came out. It was like I was, striking oil. Over time, that eventually cleared up. It got a lot lighter in color, but then it had this kind of a bubbly grayish look to it. And that was not good because the gray section was this right here. That is sand. What I can do though is I can put a pump sleeve on my new pump. So I got some really crappy news today. This is just awful. That's where I've been mentally and physically for the last 2 to 3 hours up here. One of the little pines poking up through the snow. This one was like bent over in half earlier, but I did kind of prop it up a little bit. A little curve at the bottom of that base. Can you see that? It's a bonsai wannabe. And just over to the right, it's its older brother.
Yeah, I don't know, do I keep these to be full-grown trees?
or do we bonsify them? Yeah, I'm not sure what this species is. Very fine needles. It might be also one of the white or black spruce trees that are in the northern Minnesota parts. They're harder to bonsai, don't backbud very well. So we may be just leaving these in the ground, but they'll be pretty trees pretty soon. Everybody remember this spring? Hurry up and see if we can get some trees in the ground. It looks pretty dilapidated now, doesn't it? A shout out to my stepfather, Yogi, who helped me endure the sweat and tears to get these trees in the ground. I think there's 5 or 6 under the snow. We'll see what happens in the spring. You know, we can always hope. Keep the fingers crossed, everybody. A little north and a little west of the other trees lies our new, real quick and cheap and dirty fence to keep the bunny rabbits out of the pines. 50 trees out of the 150. Yeah, we did definitely bite off more than we can chew. Are you all right?
I think I'll be okay.
You're gonna be okay?
I'll make it to the car.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. Pretty productive day. Now, probably one of the most exciting days of the year was when Toby and I got to play with a big toy.
Okay, it's about 12:30 on Monday, and it's been a busy day already. Just before 8 o'clock, the machine was dropped off.
I mean, I can spin, I can go one way to the other way, both ways, toggle the bucket up, down, left, right. I'm already at 6 or 7 ways to move, but it's air conditioned. It's really cool. It's like on a roller coaster when you're excited and then you get scared to death when you go downhill. That thing starts to shift one way or the other and like, I don't know what to do. First scoop.
I was gonna say, how do you get the arm to whoop?
I just figured it out right there.
There it is. First scoop.
What happened? I lost all my dirt.
Now that is a scoop of dirt.
Now, Toby's still cranking away because someone had to come start lunch. And we're gonna have some pad thai food in a little bit, and then we'll show you what we're doing to the earth. The main reason for the excavator is to get dirt into the shed and to kind of rearrange the land a little bit for some of the future projects that I wanna do. So we tested the excavator right in here. So here are the trees, and to the right, this is where I was digging by hand for a while. We just got about 3 or 4 trailerfuls of dirt from right here just to test out the equipment and see if we were gonna, kill ourselves. That's gonna be the cabin, 12 wide by about 24 to 28 long. And so we just got it started just to loosen up the earth. And then as I loosened up the earth, well, of course, I brought that down to the shed so we'd have more earth there.
And here lies the proposed cabin. I'm facing east right now. This is the long way, 28 to 30 we're thinking, and the south view. That truly was a fun day. Got to play with that big toy, dig up some earth and make earth more movable for bringing some trailerfuls of that dirt to the shed. So, fun day. There are other fun days here too. Remember, we actually got the water working. Yeah, the solar pump was a huge bunch of episodes. Let's take a peek at some of those.
But we got so much work today. We're gonna focus on this. Yeah, it's time to prep the well, the pump. We've got the solar powered pump to put in, hopefully within, dare I say, days or a week or two. We gotta get that in the ground. I put some 4x4 posts on the corners of the unit I built and then went ahead and mixed up some cement and took care of business. Got some cement into those cinder blocks holding the A-frame there. That should not go anywhere. Here is the pump. It is a 3-inch pump. The only other conundrum that I haven't measured yet is this hole big enough to fit around this fitting. Look at that, everybody. So I don't have to cut this off. Oh my gosh, that is such a relief. I have a pump now that's completely sealed with a 300 micro mesh. So this 300 micro mesh is going to keep out as much sand and silt as possible. Okay, I think we're all set up to get started. We're going to try to create our array of solar panels before the rain comes. So I've got the 2x4x10 treated green lumber for the width left to right. And so now I have to create the up and down. We have to make some cuts, do some drilling, and we'll have these panels put on in no time. The solar panel's in place, so we got to see if we can get that solar pump running this weekend. But it's going to be a very busy weekend. Okay, part 1 of the setup is complete. Because I put this extender piece to make my filters fit, this should have gone right onto the filter. But I put an extender piece, which means I needed a coupler. So we're going to attach the hose, the black hose, right onto here. We have the pump ready to go. Everything's taped on. We have the safety rope, we have the power, and then we have the sensor taped up a foot higher. That's ready to go into the well. Okay, the water's below the pump. This is where the water's gonna come out. We can just replenish it right in there. Hope we have enough. We don't dry up this well. Power on. Oh, I hear something spinning. It's warming up. We may have water in a few seconds. Here comes water. I can hear it coming through the pipes. Here we go. The sun is making this happen. Of course, my buddy Matt providing the RV for some comfort for me. I was up here over the summer and fall, and even a couple weekends ago, spending the night in the wintertime. Pretty cool. I've got a big surprise for you because this is not the only building on the structure anymore. What? What you talking about, Dave? That's right. I have a home away from home. A big shout out to my friend Matt, who has lent me this for the summer. He's gonna let me kick the wheels, and he helped me put on the property a couple weeks ago. This is my first weekend in it. I slept in there last night, and oh my gosh, fantastic. No more hammock tents. As cool as the hammock tent is, and I will be back in there for naps and those kind of things. This is phenomenal. And then the shed. How many episodes did we dedicate to the shed? All the dirt brought this way, and I'm almost done. I got a little bit more dirt to put in the middle, perhaps. Then we're gonna order some of that driveway gravel type stuff, and we're gonna get this thing all leveled out and really in good shape. After we put the cardboard down, 6 loads of dirt near the shed's edge, and then 6 loads of dirt a little bit out, raking it out, and the four-wheeler going back and forth a couple times. Look at that. We have the front part of the shed we've got the southeast corner, which I didn't even see, I mentioned this earlier, until this trip. Got myself a trailer late in the season, got it up here right before the big snowstorm. And I probably could pull this thing out if I had to. Brought the IBC tank up here this year. And then all the windows. The day I got the trailer, yeah, put all those and some soil into that trailer. As fall approached and winter was on the doorstep, I had to complete the 8x12 cold frame. That's right, we're talking 8 feet tall, everybody. 12 feet long and 8 feet wide. Plenty of room to host a lot of trees. I have to take these big 4x8 panels, bring them into the shed, set them aside, move all the pieces, parts, all the prefab walls in there. I have to move them off of the floor, and then we have to get to the pink stuff. A lot of cutting, a lot of measuring. That's almost flush on that side. Okay, that corner is pretty flush. Well, good morning to everyone on this bright and early, no, I'm sorry, wait a minute, it's not bright yet. Well, first because it's raining, but it's 6:25 in the morning on Friday, and I was up by 5:15, 5:30, I could not sleep. So here it is, everybody, a little harder to see with the low light, but it's gray. So I had enough stain to go on the entire top and the sides all the way around the base of the structure, which is so nice. So a little extra layer of waterproof, absolutely fantastic. 7:45 in the morning, and the cold frame pre-walls are up. I am beyond pleased that I finished this stage today. Tomorrow when my friends come up, Mark and Alan, we're going to be able to put pink stuff throughout and make a door, and this thing will be solid. It's just about time to wrap up another video here up at Bonsai Acres, and I'm almost speechless. It's kind of like, well, this is what Bonsai Acres was supposed to be. That's what Bonsai Acres is going to be and will continue to be if people like Mark and Alan, who were here just moments ago, come up and say hi, hang out, walk the trails. We took 2 walks today around the property, looking at trees. Every tree we walked by, hey, that could make a bonsai, that could make a bonsai. Got a little bit of footage of them cutting out some pink stuff. They got the ceiling part all done for me, so I just have to do a couple of side walls and that'll be done. I'll get that done today while they drive home. While they were doing that, I was able to work on the starting part of a door for the cold frame. So thank you guys so much. This has meant so much to me. Today was Bonsai Acres. And I so look forward to the next ones. Yeah, a lot of great episodes in 2025. And this has helped me tremendously with the organization, the workbench here. And as a matter of fact, right now, I'm going to do the old jar method, right? We're going to put this up here, and then we're going to have some jars with some stuff in there, some screws and bolts and nuts and stuff that, you know, sometimes I'm sure sit there for like years because you just have so much stuff. But we're trying to get organized. There was even an episode on that. So in my quest to be organized, I'm going to build a shelf over there today I just discussed. But before that, I was going to work on the skirting, which needs long measurements. I don't have my tape measure. Yeah, whoopsie Weiss in action, but the thing is I didn't bring it home with me. It should be here. I used it the last time I was up here. I've got a lot of stuff on this temporary workbench, but where's the tape measure? I've been into the trailer twice, the car twice, the shed 3 times, looking all the way around. So it's not a case of me not opening up enough drawers to find a pair of socks or something. Oh. Whoopsie Weiss. Nuts, bolts, screws, and washers. Can never find what you need. Always on a quest to being organized. That's the That's the mid-size screws. And this is the really long-size screws. Now, if nothing else, they look really organized. So we have our 5 glass jars up there. I'm even more organized than I was before. So let's go back to the rear and review, see what else. Yeah. Now, because I get so excited about getting up to Bonsai Acres, I often don't do the one thing I would like to do more often. And that's before I dig into the unloading of the car and getting to work somewhere on this or that, to just go walk around the property. And so now with the trails in place, we're kicking off this episode with a little Shinrin Yoku. Drove up early this morning, and one of the struggles I'm having, y'all, is sleeping as I get closer to the weekends. I was in bed reading before 9 p.m. on a Friday night. I woke up at 3 and I just couldn't fall back asleep. So the struggle I continue to have is turning the brain off.
I got me some winter solstice on the radio. I'm heading up north.
Probably 8 to 12 inches of snow. Who wants to Black Friday shop when you could do this? So I thought I was going to get stuck at the driveway because they plowed the road coming in. And 8 to 12 inches, I was able to drive right in with the Highlander, which is pretty cool. But I got to go take off the snow panels. Did I just say snow off the snow panels? Yeah, this was a big snowfall. 8 to 12 inches of snow in this region. And these are not going to work until we get the snow off. My system, I knew the solar was going to be covered, but I lost connection with my power station from Blue Eddy. I lost the my hotspot shut down, which only meant one thing. There must have been a power surge from all this snow up here in the Carrick area of northeastern Minnesota. And I did hear reports of people losing their power because of the heavy wet snow up north. Hey everyone, back up north on a chilly Saturday morning. It's only 13 degrees. 2 to 6 inches of snow expected south of the metro. I'm north of the metro, up at the Bonsai Oasis. Got to clear off the solar arrays. I'm all dressed up and ready to go. We're going to check the cold frame. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. We're inside the gated area at Bonsai Acres. And one of the things we have to do when we're up here again, just stop. But I'm trying to think about where the pergola is going to go. So the pergola is going to be for you and I to work on bonsai trees. It's going to be an outside workstation. And that I do want to have 16 by 16, a beautiful square that has workstations all the way around, at least 2 in each side. So 2, 4, 6, 8 stations. Stand up, sit down, whatever, to work on your tree. And then in the middle, there's going to be a place for a big turntable. Kind of the centerpiece of the pergola, where people can turn their chairs, pause, we can have workshops, what have you, and we're going to look at trees and mark them up, and what would you do, and talk about the tree. Now, the reason why I won't put it right here is right where I'm standing, right here, from here over, well, here, watch, let me go a little bit further. Sunshine, yeah, right here is where I get most of the sun throughout a winter day. Y'all have asked me if I'm going to bring my old PSGF up here, and I've told people, no, that ain't going to happen, unfortunately. But what might happen in the future is to build a new one. And guess what, y'all? I'd make it at least a foot bigger. It's coming up on 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm doing the last thing for the trip, and that is putting a little bit of moisture on a couple of these trees. That does it for the year in review. A lot of progress made up here at Bonsai Acres, and of course, a long way to go. So I did come up with a method to save my fingers from getting too terribly cold. These stakes that I made to make my temporary fences, they have a point at the tip, but it doesn't cover the hole completely. I just shove it into my big old 10-gallon, and you can't hear it, but you got the little bubbles going in there. Thank you so much for watching. What a fantastic year, 2025. Thank you so much for your support and the continued interest in watching the journey. Boy, it's just getting started. And starting next year, I think we're going to start inviting a few more people up here to help construct a few things. I'm going to need some help, everybody. But yeah, we'll start throwing out some invites and maybe having my first open house in 2026. Stay tuned for that. If you're anywhere near Minnesota during the open house, I expect you right here up at Bonsai Acres. Until soon. Welcome to Bonsai Acres.
Very excited.